Well, hey everybody, this is Norman.
And Debbie.
And we're here at the end of week 4 of the legislative session. There have been 258 bills dropped on one side and 220 on the other, so we're off to the races. This week was the deadline for legislators to drop their bills, so we've got a lot to cover today. We'll start with House Bill 1250. This is the school choice bill. This says that there's going to be a certain amount of money that if you choose a different school than where you're currently going, that money would follow the student rather than funding just the institution. It's the idea that the money follows the student, not just the system. So that'll be in committee here soon, House Bill 1250, the school choice bill.
Another bill that dropped this week is Senate Bill 210 that's going to repeal all our abortion laws. So all protections for mothers and babies just disappear. So that's a bad bill that dropped, Senate Bill 210.
Next, House Bill 1224, which is a good idea. It's a medical education bill, essentially. So right now there's a lot of doctors who are going to the media and saying that there's confusion about what our abortion laws are. And so this would direct the Department of Health to create a short video to educate those who still have questions on what our abortion laws really are and really point out that doctors can provide treatments to mothers. They can save the mother's life, and that all this media confusion is just that. It's just media confusion.
And then House Bill 1244 is a bill that would allow somebody who signed a ballot measure or a constitutional amendment to take their signature off. It'd say if they got new information or they were misinformed when they signed, it would give them a procedure to get their name off that ballot measure.
Yep. And now another bill that we're going to need to kill, House Bill 216. If you remember last year, the Help Not Harm legislation saying that we're not going to chemically castrate or genitally mutilate children, this is essentially a workaround, basically saying, well, actually you can if the parent signs the paperwork. So that's a bill that's going to have to die this year, so we'll oppose that one because child abuse is not a parental right.
House Bill 1237 is a bill that seeks to have libraries label any new books coming into their collection, and that's an issue that's important to a lot of our constituents, to keep unfavorable books, really obscene books, out of the library.
And that would kind of like the movie rating system.
Yeah,
but for
exactly.
books. So that's by Representative Heerman. A couple other bills on the topic of obscenity or inappropriate materials. 1197, it would require that public libraries publish their policies on what they do with obscene books or materials. Most libraries probably don't have any material that crosses the line into obscenity, but this is just clarifying that, hey, your policy needs to be made public. And then 1178 is similar to what Representative Carr did last year. This is just very targeted to say that state resources and state property should never be used for obscene performances.
And then 1257 also seeks to protect minors by requiring porn websites to have age verification. And that's 1257.
1257. And then finally, 1217 is video lottery local control. This would allow local municipalities, cities, communities, etc. to decide for themselves whether or not they want video lottery. There's been statewide discussions about this, discussions up here at the Capitol, but this would just give the power to localities if they say, hey, you know what, we want to limit the amount at where we're at, or it's bad for our community, we as a town want to get rid of it, it would give them that ability. So those are just a few of the bills that dropped this week, so be sure to follow our websites and our social media, stay tuned. It's going to be a crazy year yet again.
See you next week.